So, good evening. We're back again. Another game coming up, another preview, and another game against Southampton. So we have the Saints View. Dan from the Saints View. Welcome, mate. Hope you're well.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me, mate.
I bet you're kind of happy with how you had a kind of comfortable ride at the weekend against us. We were very limp. Your goal was it was probably the hardest chance you had in the whole game because you missed a couple of half chances earlier on. You hit the bar off a corner, ironically. But how did you see the game at the weekend? Obviously, I feel you deserved to win. I thought we were shocking, but what did you make of it?
Yeah, no, I echo that. I thought we were the better team on the whole. The first half, yeah, without a doubt, we were on top. I think for the full 45 minutes. I think once Saka and Partey came on, it turned a little bit. You know, you're kind of thinking, oh, we haven't taken our chances. You know, Arsenal could come back to bite us. And I think the game did turn in Arsenal's favour at that point. But yeah, you know, we've been defending well all season, really, particularly the last couple of months. And you know, we saw it through.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about your manager because obviously you got hammered 9-0 by Leicester. You kind of had a little bit of payback because you went there and beat them at their ground, didn't you, the King Power, which you just couldn't write that, could you? Like, I thought he was going to get sacked, and with all due respect, if that was in a top 6 club, he probably would have been sacked if that was a 9-0. And that's not trying to mug Southampton off. I think you're a very well-run football club. You've got a wicked academy. The list of names is just relentless of players that have come through your academy. And he's a manager that has turned it around massively now and made you a real threat. He's turned Danny Ings into Danny Inzaghi, bruv. That geezer's relentless since he's been at your lot. He's a manager that I'd take at Arsenal in a heartbeat. I really rate him. I like the way you play. I like the way he brings the youth set up into the first team, your style of play. And like you said, you're very good defensively as well. And they're not all household names, really. I know the Premier League's massive now, but they're not players that you would look at as a snobby Arsenal fan. Not that I am, but you wouldn't go, oh, well, I'll have him and I'll have him and I'll have him. But there is some players that I would have out of your team. I would definitely take Ward-Prowse. He is absolutely top class, that kid. Walker-Peters, another one. Is he on loan at you lot?
No, he's permanent. He was on loan, but we made it permanent in the summer. Yeah.
But what have you made of the turnaround, and how good is Hasenhüttl?
Well, I'll answer that second question first. He's one of the best Premier League managers around at the moment, if not in Europe. Yeah, can't speak highly enough of him. You know, you speak about, you know, that defeat. We won't mention the scoreline, but that defeat, and you have to worry. You know, at the time you worry. You know, I thought, and I think a lot of Saints fans thought at the time, that he was probably one of the best appointments around when we sacked Mark Hughes. You know, it was really ambitious, and fair play to the hierarchy for getting him in, because, you know, this guy's just taken Leipzig to 2 seasons in the Champions League, you know, from just being a second division side in Germany. So, you know, I think that speaks enough for him in terms of the qualities he's got as a manager. But yeah, you know, you worry that he is going to get the sack, because at the time it was a bit of, you know, it felt like it was more the players, you know, letting him down. He resorted back to his initial formation, and since then we've been flying, really. Particularly this season, you know, you mentioned some of those players, Ward-Prowse, Walker-Peters, kind of players that, like you say, other fans might not pick up on, but he's improved them massively. I think Walker-Peters is a great example. You know, plenty of Spurs fans were saying he's not good enough to play football, let alone play for Tottenham. And, you know, he came in on loan, and yeah, Ralph's completely rejuvenated his career, and he's in a shout for an England call up, I think, soon enough.
Yeah, he's been very good, and this is the thing that I like about Southampton. And funny enough, it's a ground I've never been to. I was supposed to go there, and I had a ticket, and it snowed. Do you remember that?
Have you been to? Yeah, I do. Have you been to Leicester though? Because you're not missing out.
I've been to Leicester.
It's a red King Power.
A pillar right in front of me, and I could hardly see. Yeah. I was like that every time the ball went. But some of these grounds are just not the one. Like, but Southampton, it snowed, and I never went, and I'm kind of glad I never went. Most Arsenal fans never got there. It was mad, and fans were
remember that
50 minutes late and stuff because of the weather. But it is a stadium that I like. I think it's a nice looking stadium. I think your academy's been unbelievable, bruv. Like, we don't even need to list the names. We all know all the names like that have come out of there. And you just seem to have great recruitment. as well, because you go and do you know the best thing I like about Southampton is you don't rip people off. You don't rip teams off for your players. Like you don't do 80 million Harry Maguire job. Do you know what I'm saying? He won't worth half of that. You always give a fair price for your players. Yeah, and I like that because that shows that, yeah, we're a nice run football club. We're good. We're an established Premier League team. And after the fact that you went down and then down again and you've come back up, and there ain't no way you're going down anymore. You know, you're an established top-class Premier League team now. And I like the way your manager has come in. He basically put Leipzig on the map, really, didn't he? Like, and you took a punt on him and people were like, wow, yeah, we know him from Leipzig, but is he all that? And then obviously the Leicester game, everyone was like, wow. Yeah. And then since then, he has just been absolutely brilliant, mate. And people taking the mick out of him the other day for celebrating after the game against Liverpool, I think it was. And
when he started crying,
but you know what? Sometimes like football's an emotional sport, man. We all get caught in our feelings at times, whether it's good or bad. We all get caught up in it. We love the game, and he's obviously no different. But I wanted to ask you, how long do you think you're going to keep him for? Because obviously, and I'm being serious when I say this, right? Obviously, Chelsea are getting Tuchel. For me, he would have been ideal for Chelsea. Brings the youth through. He's German speaking, obviously being Austrian. He can speak English, and he plays decent attacking football. I don't know if he's worked with Werner before. Has he worked with him? I think
at Leipzig, yeah.
So for me, that would have been the better option. But how long do you think you're going to keep him for? Because they're all going to be, the vultures are going to be finding a way to try and get him in the summer, bruv. Trust me.
It's a hard one to call, to be honest, because he signed a 4-year contract in the summer. So obviously this upcoming summer, he's still going to have 3 years left. So it's either going to require a big payout or he's going to stay for another 3 seasons, or at least another season, I guess. I think he's going to be here for another 1.5 years, to be honest. I think he said when he signed the contract that a lot of it was down to the fact that the board actually paid faith in him after the defeat to Leicester, and he's got to repay that, and he knows it. I think he can smell blood as well. I think he can definitely sense there's an opportunity to do something really special with the squad of players he's got. Of course, we've seen that this season. At one point, we were top of the league, albeit for a couple of days, but obviously I'm going to mention that. I think it's going to be at least another year, down to the fact that he's a genuine bloke who is going to be loyal to the football club after signing that contract, I think.
It's interesting you saying that you think he's going to stay, and like obviously they could have sacked him, but I think like I said, I don't think Southampton are the kind of club that would stand in his way if a massive job offer come. I think that they're not that type of club. They don't come across, you don't come across as the type of club to say, oh, actually, no. I heard a story today. I can't remember the fella's name, but he was talking about, it was on TalkSport, and he was talking about Van Dijk.
Charlie Austin.
Charlie Austin.
That was good, yeah.
Yeah, and he was talking about Van Dijk was linked to United, and they went and signed Lindelof instead. Yeah, and basically your manager just outed him in front of the whole squad and said, yeah, he's not going anywhere, mate. So, yeah, you're not going to United. You're not going here, there and everywhere. You're staying at the club. I think you put him in an under-23s game or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. He got skinned as well.
Yeah. And then, obviously, the transfer window shuts, and then he's back in the team on the Saturday.
Yeah. I know.
The way he told the story was hilarious, man. I was like, right, he nearly could have gone to United. But, again, like, that whole saga was a bit dumb. Like, that was more the player than the club. The player just got a bit above his station and tried taking the piss with it. But again, I don't think you ripped Liverpool off with the price on that. I thought we should have signed him. I liked him from his Celtic days, and he's gone on to probably be the best defender in the world. Yeah, and again, another example of how good your recruitment is. You and Leicester in this league are probably head and shoulders above everyone for recruitment and getting players in the team. And getting decent sized money for players without taking the piss out. I know Leicester did with Harry Maguire, and I think they've done it a little bit with Chilwell as well. But other than that, they don't really take the mick with their fees. But yeah, it was interesting to hear Charlie Austin talking about it. And,
it was a good story.
I do think if a team comes in for Hasenhüttl in the summer, I do think that you'd let him go. I think you'd take a lot of compensation.
I think it depends who it is, Lee. I think if it was Bayern Munich, I think that'd be completely different to
Yeah.
You know, Man United, City, God knows who it would be in the Premier League. Because I mean, he said before, you know, he was offered the Bayern job after, I think it was a year at Leipzig, and he said he wasn't ready. I think maybe to go back to Germany. His family lives in Munich from his time at Ingolstadt. I think that could be a sort of job that, yeah, okay, in the summer we could see him go. But I think if there's a Premier League team, it completely depends on what we achieve as well. We're talking about this, you know, 6 months in advance. We might finish in a Europa League spot, and then I think then he definitely want to see us through Europe.
Yeah, you've just linked me on perfectly, because I was going to ask you and say, where do you think you're going to finish this season?
I mean, this is the 19th game, you know, so this is after tomorrow. It's halfway for us. If we win, we go 8th, you know, with another game in hand, and God knows who it is. I can't keep track anymore. I'm very confident that we'll finish in the top half. I think seeing how consistent Aston Villa, Everton, those sorts of teams, obviously Leicester are flying now. It's hard for me to say that we're going to finish in a European spot. You know, we've had a difficult Christmas, couple 0-0s, just draws. You know, when we can't find that extra goal to get the extra 2 points in games. So for now, I'll just say confidently that we will be at least 10th come the end of the season.
Do you think you finish above us?
Yes, I do. I said that to another Arsenal fan. Ahead of the FA Cup game. At the moment, it depends. We'll see what happens tomorrow, because obviously you go above us if you win. But at the moment, yeah, I think we will.
Who's been for you this season your standout player? Is it ones we spoke about in Ward-Prowse and Walker Peters, or is there somebody that's gone under the radar?
It's hard to pick out one, to be honest. I think Ward-Prowse probably does edge it overall, in the sense that he's just turned into an absolute monster this season. You know, not saying that he was playing badly at all beforehand, but, you know, he was on the verge of moving. I think it was like someone like Watford or even a Championship side when Ralph came in. And he basically said, you know, there's some great interviews with Ward-Prowse about how when Hasenhüttl came in, you know, he was knocking on his door and saying, you know, Gaffer, how do I get in the team? And he showed him, you know, he wrote it down for him, and he worked hard. And, you know, he's played in, I think he's missed 3 or 4 games since Hasenhüttl took over in 2018. That emphasised, and, you know, he's been playing 90 minutes in basically all of them. You know, this season he's just been an absolute monster. You know, last year most distance covered in the Premier League by any player, and this year he's kind of come into this box to box. We all know him for his free kicks and his set pieces, but now it's got to the point where he's that complete midfielder. You know, you'll see him surging forward, trying to look for, you know, the final ball into the box for Ings or Adams, for example. But you'll also see him, you know, making that last-ditch challenge. I mean, on Saturday he did a goal. He had a goal line clearance. I think that perfectly emphasises it. Yannick Vestergaard's in with a shout. Walker Peters is in with a shout.
Well,
I think Adams
has he been good? Like, I've seen him, he's a bit inconsistent, but when he's good, he's brilliant.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say player of the season, but he's sort of in that next level below. I think he's come on leaps and bounds since we signed him from Birmingham, without a doubt. Got a couple of goals for his confidence during the restart last season, and he's kind of gone on from there, really. You know, sometimes he is a bit wasteful in front of goal, but his hold-up play and his work rate is second to none.
He's a big lad as well, big, strong lad. I didn't realise how big he was. I've watched him a few times, but when he run past Gabriel at the weekend, I was like, okay. And I'm like, and then they panned in. I was like, he is a big physical.
Yeah, he's a lump. He's a big lump, and that's kind of why his partnership with Ings at the moment is kind of starting to blossom, because they're different types of strikers. You know, he's not necessarily the tallest player on the pitch, but he's definitely one of the most physical. Yeah,
100%. You got a sick team. Like, just reading through some or just saying some of them names, you have actually got a really good team. And it's like the way you've got a tune out of Danny Ings since he's been there is unbelievable. I always thought that the Liverpool move for him was you're not going to turn Liverpool down, but I just feel it was the wrong fit for him. He was never a Liverpool striker, especially when you go back over the years of the strikers they've had at that club, barring Andy Carroll, obviously. But they have had a long list of top-class strikers at that football club, and the way they've evolved, their striker now don't really have to score any goals. Yeah, and I always felt his link-up play is not the greatest. He's a top striker. He's a very good striker, but I don't think he's got the best link-up play. So he was always going to be the wrong fit for Liverpool, because their whole game is based around anything other than the striker scoring goals. Like, it's just mad. And Firmino's the only striker in the league that don't have to score, bruv. So, I mean, it's mad. Big up to Terry in the Football Terrace. He's in the chat. It is the real one because he has got a tick next to his name. It's highlighted. See, when these people have got over 100K to get a tick, we'll hopefully have one in the summer.
Big time. Big time.
Make sure you subscribe to Dan's channel as well. The link is in the title. So make sure you click the solid link, the hyperlink in the title. And Terry, we need to have words as well because we've got Man United at the weekend, so maybe we need to do something, bruv. So text me, and big up to everyone watching live on Twitch and Facebook as well. Let's move into this game. Obviously, you beat us the other day, kind of comfortable. Is there any like injury news that we need to know about? Any players for you lot that are out, or any doubts?
Yeah, Walker Peters, the man we mentioned, he picked up an injury in training. So and Bertrand suspended. So both first choice fullbacks are out. So
what's the replacements like? Who's potentially coming in?
Well, it's a tough one because we've got Jan Valery at right back, who's kind of blown hot and cold since he made it into the first team, and then we've got another academy product in Jake Vokins at left back. Only played once this season, which was that 2-0 win against Shrewsbury. I like him. You know, I think he's been knocking on the door to be Bertrand's backup for a season or two now. Had a couple games last year, broke through. Like I said, I like him. I think he's positive going forwards. But he's not had the sort of test of playing against players like Arsenal have. You know, if he's smart, even if, you know, we're talking about players who haven't hit the heights that are expected of them at Arsenal, like Pepe, Willian. You know, but on their day, you know, they can go for it. And
no, Willian's shit, bro.
he's not had that test yet. That's the point I'm making. You know, I think he's played Huddersfield, Brighton, and Shrewsbury. You know, he's not played in Arsenal yet.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mad one because your first 11 is pretty bloody good. It's after the first 11, and
that's
you do get injured players that are first team regulars that are, like you said, potentially your right back's probably he is one of your players of the season. Yeah. If he's out, that's a big loss because not only is he very good defensively, he's also an attacking threat. Yeah, and he sucks players in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He hasn't missed a game all season, so it's a big miss. Hopefully, it's not serious. But Ralph just came into his press conference and said, "Yeah, he picked up a injury this morning in training." So
he's 100% out.
Yeah, no,
that's a massive plus for us. That's a massive plus. We need to get Martinelli straight on that side.
Yeah, exactly. No, and that's it. You know, that's why Saints fans are, you know, changing their mind because it's 2 second choice fullbacks. You know, and especially with Bertrand, you know, so much experience there. No, the defense is starting to look a little bit shaky going into tomorrow's game.
What about I wanted to ask you about Ryan Bertrand as well because he's been linked with a loan move to Arsenal, which I thought was a little bit strange. Like I watch Premier League football. I wouldn't say that I'm like regularly watching Southampton starting 11 and seeing he's busy. How many games does he play? Is he a regular for you lot or is he a fringe?
Yeah, Bertrand is
a regular.
Yeah, no, Bertrand's first choice. I've had some Arsenal fans ask. There's absolutely no way he's going to Arsenal, not this window. I mean, before the window, he was saying he's on the verge of signing a new contract, and it still feels like he will be. I think he's out of contract in the summer. If not, he's got 1 year left. But
do you think that's more of his agent putting it out there to get a better deal?
Yeah, to be honest, I think he would be on Arsenal's shortlist. I think he'd be a really good backup to Tierney. But there's absolutely no way, being a Chelsea boy, there's absolutely no way he's going to Arsenal to be a second choice. You know, when he's got what's going
their rejects. We might have their manager soon.
Given the fact that he's been here for so long now, and like I said, you know, we could be on the verge of something special this season. There's no way he's going to, you know, sack off.
Yeah, when I see the story, I was like, he's an all right player. I wouldn't say he's that great. Yeah. But he's good enough to play first team football in the Premier League.
He is. He's better off at us, I think, for himself.
Yeah, there's no way he's getting in over Tierney FC, bro.
No, exactly.
That ain't happening. Yeah, and exactly. Before we carry on chatting about the game tomorrow, what do you make of Arsenal under Arteta? Obviously, we won the FA Cup, but it's always interesting to hear other fans of other clubs talk about Arteta because I can't stand him, bruv. Yeah, I can't. I think he's just going to set us back another 5 years. But what do you make of him as a Saints fan?
I mean, as an outsider, Arsenal is always going to be a big club, you know, regardless of where they are in the Premier League table right now. But not they're not meeting the standard that should be set by Arsenal. You know, with the growing up with Arsenal being, you know, top four team. You know, won the Premier League a couple of times, but it's always still in the top four. You know, seeing them, even seeing them fifth a couple of seasons ago, you know, that was strange. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not even an Arsenal fan. You know, so right now I agree in the sense that it wasn't the best appointment. Maybe at the time, it might have been the best out of a bad bunch, you know, available. But no, they're just not at the standard that they really should be at. And I don't know whether that's to do with the manager, the hierarchy, the players. But you expect Arsenal to be in contention for the top four.
Yep, I expect us to challenge for a title, bruv. And
yeah, there you go.
Unfortunately, not many of our fans do. They're happy with 11th, which is kind of mad, but it is what it is. But back to the game tomorrow. Obviously, we dropped or made 7 changes, should I say. Aubameyang doesn't look like he's going to make it. He had to pull out the squad at the weekend because of personal issues. I have no idea what the personal issues are. I don't know whether somebody in his family's passed away, whether somebody's got COVID. I don't know. I have no idea. But Arteta did his press conference today and said, like, we haven't had an update. So I'm assuming he ain't playing tomorrow. So we will probably go with Lacazette up front, with Martinelli left and Saka right. Yeah, that's a decent attacking option. And Lacazette, although I don't particularly rate him, his level's above Eddie Nketiah, bruv. Eddie Nketiah, nah. Yeah, nah, bruv. I can't be having him at this club. Midfield, I think Partey will probably go in. Probably next to Granit Xhaka, and then we'll probably go with Smith Rowe again, who's been wicked recently, and then Tierney hopefully a play. Right back, it'll be the humanitarian, bruv. Just stick your best player on that side. Yeah, trust me. Yeah, if you've got any contact with Hasenhüttl, bruv, just tell him stick your fastest and most technical footballer on Bellerin side, because Rob Holding will be next to him and they're clueless.
I'll text the groundsman to tell him in training tomorrow morning.
and then we'll probably have Gabriel or Louise. Gabriel weren't great the other day, and he's been rushed back. I think he had COVID. He's come back and he just looked crap. So I think he'll probably go with Louise, Holding, Tierney, and Bellerin, and then obviously in the midfield, Partey, Xhaka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Saka, and Laka. For me, that would be a decent starting 11. But the problem I have is he put all of his eggs into this game, into this basket, because he threw us out the FA Cup when it's our cup, basically. And I'm kind of concerned that we're going to lose this game, because I think that the longer it stays 0-0, the more we have to try and get the win. Because, like I said, he made so many changes. That's where you then undo us. Is Nathan Redmond fit to play?
Yeah, he's actually come back today, so he'll be off the bench probably.
You wouldn't start him, I take it, no?
No, he's been out for, I think, almost a month now. It's just too risky.
Because when he came on at the Emirates against us, bruv, he ripped us a fucking new one. Seriously, like
but then really he didn't score. You know, he blows hot and cold. You know.
Yeah, do you know what? There's certain players in this league. They only do it against certain teams, and it's like they always have to play against a better team or a big team. Yeah. To get fired up for games. Bruv, we've had this at Arsenal for so many years. Why do you think we win the FA Cup? Yeah, it's like, oh, we're in the cup semi-final. Oh, we'll beat City today then. Yeah, put them in the league game. It's like, oh, we ain't got no chance. But because there's a trophy on the line, they suddenly man up. And it winds me up. But how do you see the game tomorrow? Do you think you end up winning it, or do you just see it as another draw for Southampton?
The latter. I think it's going to be another draw for Southampton. You know, I think it was pleasing to see Ralph go for the cup, you know, for the cup game. I was having this debate with other Saints fans, with a couple of Arsenal fans before Saturday, and it was really mixed actually from our end of things. You know, some fans are really concerned with, as you mentioned, you know, the starting 11's great when it's available, but it's who comes in when some of those players aren't available. And so given the fact that we've got, I think my Siri's going off. I think given the fact that, you know, we've got a really congested Premier League schedule over the next month or two, they didn't want to see us go through in the cup, in the sense that it's just more games. But for me, I love the FA Cup. I think it's fantastic competition, and you know, we've only won it once, but to be honest, with everything that's going on right now, I think we've got an opportunity to go all the way. You know,
100%. Now we're
you
out.
know,
Now
I think,
we're out.
yeah, no, and that's it. I was having a look at the teams still in there, and basically, if we beat Wolves, we want the winner of Bournemouth or Burnley, and then Bristol City versus Sheffield United, and then we're at Wembley. You know, I'd
Yeah.
back us for that. So, yeah, I think we've got a great chance in the cup. I was really glad to see Ralph go for it. We obviously went for it, won the game. So now I feel like there's a little bit less pressure on us for this one, but it's still a big league game. You know, you look at the Premier League table, you guys would go above us if you win, albeit we'll still have a game in hand. But if we can win this game tomorrow night, 5-point gap over Arsenal, 8 points potentially if we win our game in hand. You know, that sets us really well up for the second half of the season, I think.
And you're spot on as well. And I don't think your manager would do anything stupid, because I do think that potentially he may see a draw against us 3 days after we beat us as a decent result. But at the same time,
I personally would, yeah.
Yeah. At the same time, your Wi-Fi's gone mad again, bruv, by the way. It's been fine for the whole time, yeah. Now it's just moving buggy again. But
we're going to sort this out. This is ridiculous, man.
No, go
anyway,
on, man.
Keep going.
But yeah, it's for us, it's a must-win, because he put all of his eggs in this basket, and if we don't win it, I'm going to have a meltdown, bruv, because you threw us out of our cup. Look, we're sponsored by the Emirates, bruv. It's our competition. It's just thrown it in the bin, yeah. And if he doesn't win this game tomorrow, I'm gonna have a real upset evening, bruv. Put it that way. And I don't think we're gonna win. That's the saddest part. It's like, I'll just look at Southampton, and I just think the style of play you have, it's like regimented. You know where your man's going to be. You know exactly what your players want to do. For us to make 7 changes the other day and then go back to potentially making another 4, 5, 6 tomorrow, it's too all over the place, you know. And there's no consistency with our starting 11s. Like, I can't remember the last time we played the same 11 for 4 or 5 games straight. You know, it's mad, bruv. Like, I hope I'm wrong, but I feel that Aubameyang's a big miss for us, even though he's been shit this season, and he's caught ozolitis. He's still a threat, and it'll make you think about going back the other way. Yeah, when he's got the ball, and when he's running at you down that left and he's opening his body up, he can ping it against anyone. Top bins. Saka, I thought was shocking when he came on. He put 1 cross into the box. Other than that, he just run around a lot. Martinelli, I'd love to see him play the whole game, because for me, he is fucking world class, that kid. Unbelievable footballer. Saka, I rate him as well. I think he's good. I just thought he was poor when he came on the other day. But they're the threats. And Smith Rowe, if you pocket Smith Rowe, you pretty much stop the outlet to them 2 down the wing. So yeah, I am kind of shitting myself, if I'm honest, because there's so many teams behind us that could potentially catch us up tomorrow if we don't win.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, you put yourself 5 points clear with a game in hand. Aston Villa are already clear with 2 games in hand. You know, West Ham are clear of us. It's like, these are the teams. This is why I get so frustrated, because fair enough, we're not better than Liverpool, City, Tottenham, Man United, but I expect us to be above Southampton. I expect us to be above West Ham. Leicester are even better than us.
Sure.
Don't really expect us to be above them right now. But yeah, with a proper manager, with a proper set 11 and structure and a formation and a game plan, I feel like we could be up there, you know. And that's why I get the ump with it. But let's get some predictions. I'm going to go 2-1 Southampton, bruv. And you know what? It's funny, because the other day I sat here and I was like, fuck Southampton, fuck Wolves. And my missus, old man, he's downstairs having his dinner. He's a Wolves fan, isn't it? I'm in Wolverhampton, yeah. And I sat there when we got the draw. I said, I said, my condolences, bruv. It's our competition again. I sat there on my preview the other night for the game at the weekend. So don't care about Southampton. Don't care about Wolves. I put that clip out everywhere, yeah. Right, and the one time I'm confident and cocky, it backslapped me. So I'm going to go back to negative toxic league gunner again, and I'm going 2-1 Southampton. Unfortunately, what do you reckon?
I think it's going to be a draw. I think 1-1. You know, like I said, we're in the driving seat in terms of, I think, both games. I think the FA Cup, you know, that was the more important game. But yeah, I don't know. It's a really hard one to call, because obviously it's a completely different Arsenal team almost, or what we're expecting in terms of lineups. Whereas it's pretty much the same, if not exact, with the exception of the fullbacks for us. So I think it'll be a good game. I think two defenses that might not be at it, so there might be goals in this one. But yeah, I think we'll come away with a point, and I'll be really happy with that.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think the fact that if you get a draw out of this after basically knocking us out the cup the other day, I think that would be a great result for you as a club, and a great result for your manager and the team as well. You've knocked us out the cup. You're in the next round. Yes, it's a hard game against Wolves, but I think you'll beat them. And they're strikerless at the minute, bruv. They couldn't score in a brothel. And I think if you get a draw against us, it keeps you above us, and you've still got a game in hand. So
that's the point. That's exactly it.
Apparently, Spurs are slapping up Wickham 4-1. That's another manager I would have took.
I was hoping that was going to be a shock. They went 1-0 up, and I was like, oh, please.
Nah, no chance. If anything, he'll fucking win the cup this season. Yeah. Manager, I would have took him in a heartbeat at Arsenal, man. Love Jose. I know Arsenal fans don't like him, but I fucking love him, bro. But big up to you for coming on as well, man. Give everyone your socials, let them know where they can find you in that, mate.
Yeah, no, at the Saints View, on obviously Twitter and Instagram, but mainly on YouTube. If you want to get your Saints content, come to us. I think that's the best way to put it. If you want to follow me personally, it's at Dan J Hargraves on Twitter. Again, if you want your Saints content, really.
Yeah, man. No, it's been a pleasure having you on, mate. And listen, his YouTube channel is in the title of the video, so make sure you go and show some love and support over there. When I checked before I came on here, I think you're on 2.9k. Is that right?
Yeah, no, we're approaching 3k now. Yeah, so
come on, everyone, get over, smash him up.
Yeah, come on,
up to 3k. And keep going with that, man. Trust me, we were speaking backstage about it. There's not many Saints content creators out there, so there's a little market there you can break into, bruv. And you speak very well about your club as well. So listen, I'll definitely get you back on here again, mate.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me, mate.
And thank you to everyone in the chat. Just to divert your attention very quickly, and thank you to DVS as well. Big up to you, Dougie. Appreciate that, mate. And just to divert your attention to my plans for tomorrow, the schedule is as follows, if I can find it. Where are we? Tuesday. I'll be doing a transfer video when I'm up and about, maybe lunchtime-ish. Then 7:05, I'll be doing the watch along. I think we kick off at 8:15.
Yeah, it's a late one. Yeah,
fucking, I hate these late kickoffs, bro. Real talk. I can't stand them. 3 o'clock kickoffs, perfect. Yeah, that 12 o'clock one the other day was a disgrace. I had to get up early, man. Where are we? Yeah, 8:15. So yeah, 7:05 tomorrow, watch along. 10:30, I'll be doing player ratings with Chig on his channel. And then about 11:30 midnight, I'll be doing a post-match press conference reaction. So busy bee. Big up to you, Dan. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to everyone on Twitch as well. If you haven't subscribed to my Twitch, Amazon Prime users get it for free. So make sure you go and subscribe. All the socials are across the bottom of the screen. And we're out of here.